That table. Hey.
Actually, that's okay. Yeah. Can you guys see it if it's not lit? Yeah? Alright. So a little bit of Alright, so when we first tackled this, this project, the very first question we asked ourselves is, what are the core elements? And Nelson was kind enough to give them to us when we first started by saying there's two elements, behavior and performance. So we decided to split into two, and we looked at the core elements of behavior, and we saw absenteeism, lateness, detention, and office. And this box here, these boxes, would I give you a sort of a numerical number of total absences based on the semester or the year or the whatever is the current curriculum. And I'm actually going to ask Ashwin, because he's considerably smarter than I am, on how he chose that the best way the data will be represented.
So for example, we can use histograms here to show the number of times that students have been absent. Like with this histogram, I can show that like 10 times, like we have 10 students that had 2 absence. And then, for example, we had 4 students that were absent 5 times. So general information like that. And then when they click on that, like when they click on this histogram, they can see more detailed information based on the name of the student.
So the next item we tackled was performance, and there's a lot of data on performance. We didn't really want to focus on individual students, but give teachers a quick sort of overview. We also made an assumption that if this data and this dashboard is available for one teacher, it's probably available for other teachers. So we made an assumption for filters, and they're not completely listed there, but you could add filters to a graph that shows assignments and grades per class, compared to the school average, compared to other teachers, compared to other schools in the community, and so on. And on the right, here, is a list of your own students that once again you could sort of click on, and it would sort of superimpose sort of the trends for both graphs, and you could compare how your students are doing compared to your class, compared to the school, compared to their peers, compared to the whole region if you really wanted to. And there would also be other elements that would show sort of current grade status, sort of like a little red, green, yellow, that indicates they're doing okay, they could be doing better, they could be doing a lot better. And and obviously, like anything else, you click on them, it would show more details, but for the dashboard, that's what we got.
Good job. Next team.
If I can get some help.
Oh, do you guys get this, or?
Oh, you guys can hang on to it.
I'll put it on my wallet.
And this is team?
I don't know, Team Awesome, I guess.
Team Awesome, okay.
All right.
For Team Awesome?
So
I'm sorry, I'm just going to limit it to 2 minutes if that's okay.
Oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay. Well, the way we've divided our dashboard is by trying to break down the tasks that the teacher might have. And so we figured that 2 things that she might want to do is to look at overall class performance, and over on the right-hand side there we have a snapshot, which would kind of be like a scatter plot, like a matrix, showing where how students perform compared to their peers and compared to their goals on the right side. And that right graphic there would interact with the main display here on the right side, which would be used to get a comparative view for the teacher of each of the students. And so here she could see for each sort of row in this chart how students are doing, and generally we decide to code the data on an axis or on a scale of red being poor and green being overperforming or doing better than average. On the left-hand side we have sort of like, we couldn't figure out the term, but we were thinking of calling it like a confound or a predisposition for the students. So whether they were a language student or in special education, their name, their behavioral indicators as you were describing here. So whether it was green or red, so that would be indicative of whether they're below average or above average compared to their peers. And then spark lines for the assignments over the past 5 assignments and grades over the past 5 sets of grades over the 5 years, that is. And overall, you could see whether or not the student was, in the background of each of these, you'd have a green or a red compared to their peers. And so you would see per row whether it was more green or more red. And so you could select each of these rows, and then you could see where that student would lie on the right side there. And vice versa. If you selected a data point on the right, you could see where they are. And of course, you could sort by performance for each of these columns, just to do more exploratory analysis, if you will. So we embedded a little bit of interactivity with this.
Does anybody know what that form of interactivity is called when you click on something on the left and it shows up and it's highlighted on the right? Before Jeff answers. Jeff?
Brushing?
Yeah, it's called brushing. So, the word comes from if you were to brush down with your mouse and click on subsequent student names, you're saying that you would see some sort of interactivity on the right side of the screen. So that's what that's called, in case you're interested. Thank you, team. Awesome. Great job. Sorry, take the mic. Who's up next? Sam from team?
Data VizWiz.
Data VizWiz.
That's great.
You want to make notes?
All right, so we were trying to emphasize how little time teachers have to prepare for lessons, so we really want to hit at the core of what teachers want to know before they get to class. And for us, once we get a list of the students, the biggest things we want to look at are the problem kids, right? So we get the warning symbol here for problem kids. We also get the keeners with the sunshine there, and we also represent learning disabilities and language challenges with certain students. We also do a little spark graph of their trend to goal. So their grades versus the goal line, which is represented with the dotted line. So you got a really quick representation here, and then you just click on a student's name, and it just blows up into this graph, which shows you grades on different assignments and quizzes, and problem areas indicated visually. And then you just get as simple as the current average and their current goal. So really, really quick, in just 30 seconds, you can see where your problems lie before you enter the classroom, and maybe how to remedy them. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, team Data VizWiz. All right, who's up next? Team in the corner. Is it? Team Super Awesome. Wow, we're trumping each other with names now. Hey Jeff, do you mind actually coming up here and helping out with the mic?
Something to work?
Whatever they need.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the best dashboard that we'll ever have. So actually, what you have to do is to bring the class on the screen, because the teacher deals with the children, right? So you need to bring the whole class on the screen. So we decided to plot the position of every individual kid on the screen. And since we know that bad behavior spreads like wildfire, so it's very important that you can highlight the bad behavior on the single individual. So you can click on different tabs here with the different behavioral variables here, and then we'll highlight a heat map showing what's the behavior of the actual kid. So that actually the teacher has some action here that can take. So you can move kids around and hopefully let the good behavior spread. That's okay, and what's very important here is the interactivity. So basically we have the list of all the students, and the spark line represents the performance over the 5 years. And so when you click on one individual here, it's highlighted within the class. And again, you can choose, you can decide to move them around the class. And the very last part was rather quick, but actually this represents another performance, which is the I don't know, something like this, the grades across the years, and then their goal and expected performances.
Very cool. Thank you, team. Super awesome. Oh, sorry. Anybody? Who's up next?
Who will be up next?
Okay, and your team name?
The most awesome.
Please give it up for our team, The Most Awesome.
The most originally awesome.
I got it.
Wait, are you coming up here? Yeah.
I can start, you guys can come on up. Well, we began by asking what the most important question for this teacher was, and we determined that it would be to help the students who are in need of help. So in a sort of home screen or large tile, which you can then brush from, we would organize just the key information, which would be students and their grades, including their previous grade, their goal, and this would be color-coded, like many other people have suggested, perhaps red and green, denoted, like people struggling could be denoted by color, red, and each of these columns could be selectable and sortable. So the teacher, in this case, has determined that she wants to see who's performing the poorest at the top. And then going from that, you would click on a student to find out more information.
So we thought that one of the most important things here, it's cutting out, would be to compare the behavior with grades. So the grades for the assignments are used with the, what do you call it, the sparkline. And then we decided to plot absences, lates, detentions, and that kind of thing in clusters with dots along the line there. So basically, the line at the bottom is like a timeline.
Right here.
And as the year progresses, the spark line fills up, and so do the kind of clusters of bad behavior. So you can see if the bad behavior is affecting marks or not.
And we thought time was something that was missing from this table that we decided to add, because then things like absences this, we think, gives you a better picture visually of what is happening in the year.
So then we also decided not to mark the ESL students or special education students on the first screen, but rather to include it on the second screen here as perhaps a contributing cause of poorer marks, potentially. And then we also have you can choose to use the current or the past 5 years view here.
That's it.
Thank you, team. The Most Awesome. Who's left? Yeah, come on up. Okay, and your team name?
David.
Team David. Awesome. Please give it up for Team David.
Oh, I kind of want to sing. So we've broken this down into a few main panes, and so we have this performance one at the top and a behavior one at the bottom. So the performance on the left, we have this year, we have the list of students, but I only have the top one. And then this spark line here indicates the performance across the 5 assignments, just to kind of get the trend. And then the final one will be this bar to show the most recent assignment, so it can easily be compared with the the rest of the students, even though we only have one indicated. And then just small symbols to show either the ESL or the special needs. And then on the right we have a breakdown showing it, being able to compare the assignments. We didn't go into too much detail here. And in the bottom pane, we're showing just a summary of behavioral things. So by a person's name, we can say the office referrals and the detention, and then just combining the two numbers, are they going up or are they going down? Just kind of show the trend. And we have the absences and the lates, and then just a little bit of color coding here, just blue to show one way or another. There's a problem, so we have 10 absences or whatever, and then we have a couple smaller panes on the right. Just this top one is to kind of show your kind of most recent anomaly or outlier or alert, I guess we call it, because we have all these sorts of things that'll just analyze the number and it'll come up, I guess green or blue in this case, show you if it's good or bad. And then we summarize in the bottom left, you know, here are all your students who aren't meeting their goals, so kind of this column in the far right. And so you can, you know, go into all those, see, you know, who needs help. And then if you want more information about a particular student, we put a search bar in the top right corner, and it would be in there that you would probably get the spark for the past 5 years. You're probably not want to be comparing, you know, this kind of history across students, but it'll come up, you know, when you're looking at a particular student.
And who's up next? Do we have any? Is that it? Is anybody not going?
Anybody not going?
Or anybody not willing to go? It's optional.
You don't want to go again?
Okay, thank you everybody. That was actually really interesting. What's one of the more fun, one of the most fun things about working as a consultant at Dundas is we get to meet a lot of different individuals at many different companies and learn how they do business. Whether they're in healthcare, consumer packaged goods, financial industry. What's quite apparent to me about this room is there's a lot of people here who are probably a lot smarter than I am, and so we saw a lot of really good ideas. That said, I do want to show you my solution to the problem. And 1 second, sorry. And this is what mine looks like. And while you guys were talking, I was actually thinking about ways I could improve mine. Because there's certainly some really good ideas out there. And if I could just go through some of the teams. Team Petrie, what was remarkable about yours is that we saw student level information. That would, you know, it's really granular. The use of data bars to show differences in magnitude between the different assignments. Team That Table, props for putting in a histogram and different types of visualizations in there. Team Awesome, you know, a demonstration of brushing and interactivity. Data VizWiz, pictographs, using more different, you know, visual representations to give people an idea of the various dispositions of your students. Team Super Awesome with the heat map and brushing as well, I think I saw there. Team The Most Awesome. What was cool about this team was the linking between behavior and grades. I thought that was pretty cool. What I've done here is I've created a section called behavior, and it's not behavioral issues for every student, but it's not to say that it's okay if you're always absent, but you still have high marks, but I've limited to students who have the most behavioral issues and also are in, I think, the bottom quartile of grades. So I thought that was very interesting. Team David, definitely with the search capability struck me because that's actually becoming more of a recurring theme in business intelligence today, and it's showing up on more and more dashboards. And there were a lot of good things about yours. Another thing that popped up was the use of tiles. You didn't call it that, but immediately I was thinking, well, one of the big challenges when you're designing for tablets or phones is the form factors are all different. How do you design for something that fits all these different dimensions? And when you looked at the mobile video earlier, that was one way that we thought of going about that problem. It's if the tiles can move and adjust to your device and be responsive. That's one way to solve that problem. So, really good job to everybody. I have there were 7 teams. I have the unfortunate responsibility of making enemies out of the other 6. But because of just the level of granularity and the brushing, I'm picking Team Awesome as the winner. So, I realize I've gone way overboard on time. Thank you so much, everybody, for your patience. A couple of things just because a few questions did pop up earlier.
Nelson,
Yes?
do you want to tell Team Awesome about the prizes?
Oh, yeah. So, Team Awesome, we'll hand it out to you in a bit, but this is your prize. It's the Show Me the Numbers book I mentioned earlier from Stephen Few. If you get a chance to pick up this book, I really do recommend it. Actually, it's kind of nerdish, but I give it away as gifts as well. It's a really good gift item. So, I should have said that. People have asked, well, how do we keep in touch if we have other questions? Certainly, we're going to stick around. Pizza's just arrived. There's drinks there, and you guys obviously are all welcome. I wanted to show you, and it's disappeared. Oh, here it is. Our Facebook page, which is not very well followed at the moment. We're just beginning kind of our social media campaign. But if you guys have anything interesting or just want to stay in touch, this is a really easy way of doing that beyond getting our business cards. We also have a LinkedIn group called Dundas Data Visualization Incorporated, and you guys are always welcome to join that board if we see anything interesting, or sometimes new blog posts or things that we're seeing kind of in the news, or interesting things that we've done. You'll find out about them here. So I'm going to stop droning on and on. I really hope you guys got something out of this today. I hope that at the very least we won't be seeing some of the data visualization sins we've seen earlier. Based on what I've seen in this room today, I'm pretty sure nothing that comes out of you guys will ever end up in our Hall of Shame. And actually, I think there's a lot of potential that I'm seeing here. So thank you, everybody, for your time today, and hope to talk to you in just a bit. Oh, sorry. Before you go, I forgot. Just bring up David from the Association for Information.
Also, there's some pens and USBs if you guys want to pick them up on your way out. Knock yourself out. Not literally.
Thank you everyone for coming here today and staying at last. We have... Oh.
Use the mic in your hand.
Technical issues, sorry.
There you go.
Sorry, not use the mic yet. So thank you for coming here today and staying with us. We have pizza here, so please feel free to help yourself with food and socialize. There's a lot of people who are interested in this area, students, professionals from companies, and please get to know each other. And if you're willing to know more about our future events, similar to this one, we will have more. This piece of paper is handed out to you when you came, and there's more on the table outside, so when you're leaving, if you want to sign up we have a Twitter account, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and our email is there. And if you're interested in partnering with us for future workshops, please let me know, or Kim know, our Vice President, and enjoy the food. Thank you.